Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the webinar. I'll start with a presentation about the company and myself. We are Global Compass, and we've been sending students abroad since many years already. It's our 9th year since we've been sending students to different countries around the world. We help students to navigate their future careers abroad, starting with their education. We provide students and parents with support, ranging from application process, gathering documents, applying for visas, and helping them to orientate themselves before departure. And upon arrival, we still remain in touch with the students. And students and our clients actually find us through social media, or previous clients would recommend us to their friends and family. And there are also clients who come from these kind of webinars that we do and offline events that we sometimes organize in different cities. We are certified company, so we do various trainings so that we are professionally informed about the different regulations, the different rules that are pertinent to different countries and programs. And that's why we can say that we're a professional counseling agency. Like I mentioned before, we've been sending students to different countries around the world, including Asia, lots of countries in Europe, and also North America. And to students, we usually offer a variety of programs depending on their choice and their stage in the career process. Some students prefer to go to short-term language courses. Some prefer to long-term. We have kids who go to summer camps. We organize mini group tours for students who wish to travel as a group. We have students who go to boarding schools in different countries. We have students going for exchange programs. We also have students who choose to do vocational career programs, and also students who pursue degree programs in universities, such as bachelor programs or master and even PhD programs. And here I would like to introduce our partner actually of 3 different colleges in the United States. It's a network and a group of community college in the US, Contra Costa Community Colleges. And Daniel Bowman today with us is going to tell more details about why you should choose and consider community colleges. What's the advantage of going into community college versus going to a university? So Daniel, the floor is yours. Thank you for also being with us today and doing this webinar.
Thank you so much, and welcome everyone. It's great to have you here. My name is Daniel Bowman, as Jill just said, and I work for 3 so-called community colleges in Northern California in the States. And I will spend the next few minutes, half an hour or a bit more maybe, trying to tell you a bit more about what is a community college and why is it such a perfect backdoor into really top universities in the United States. So I will start by sharing my screen. Let's see. Okay. So I'll just move this a bit. As mentioned, we are a group of colleges. They are all 3 separate colleges, but they are sort of collected under an umbrella called the Contra Costa Community College District. And the 3 colleges are Contra Costa College, Diablo Valley College, and Los Medanos College. There you go. There are many different ways you can study at our colleges, and one of them is doing a gap year. This is a perfect choice if you don't know if you want to study a full bachelor's degree in America. Or maybe if you can't afford a full degree, but you want the experience of studying abroad. Or if you are wanting to just enhance your academics before you go into university in your home country, for example, then you could come for 1 semester or 2 semesters, and you can choose whatever courses you want to take. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but then we will be more focused on the bachelor degrees starting at a community college. The advantages of the community college is that the admission requirements are much simpler than if you go directly to a university, a 4-year university. You don't have to do any entrance exams like the SAT. Also, the tuition cost is considerably lower than at the universities. Classes are smaller. This is a really great advantage, especially if your first language is not English, and when you first arrive and start studying at an American college or university, because at the universities, usually the classes are taught in bigger auditoriums with 100, 200, 300 students, which makes it harder if you want to, you have to be braver if you want to ask the professor something. And also socially, it might be better to have a smaller class. And the classes at our colleges are maybe between 25 and 30 students in each class. So you get a much closer connection to other students and also to the professors. Also, which I will be telling you more about later, the admission rates to the universities are much higher compared to if you would apply directly first year to a university. I will explain a lot more about this and how it works. Also important to say, because I know that sometimes there is a bit of a confusion regarding what is a college and what is a university? Is it the same thing? What kind of level is it? Is it not university level? It is. It's a different name and it's a different construction, but it's university level of education. So you don't have to worry about that. But I know that this is a confusion around the world, understanding the difference between a college and a community college and a university. And at the community colleges, you can only study for 2 years. And then you transfer to a university if you want to do your bachelor degree. So I've already said a bit about the advantages or the possibility of doing a gap year. Not sure if you want to study an entire bachelor, not sure what you want to study. You want to try out different things. You want to get better at English, etc., as you can see on the screen. So the gap year is a really good option if you're not sure you want to go for the whole bachelor degree. If you do, how it works is you start at the community college, you study the first 2 years at the community college, then you transfer to a 4-year university, and you do year 3 and year 4 at the university. Then you get your bachelor degree and you get the diploma from the university where you did the last 2 years. So even if you start at one of our colleges and then you end up at UC Berkeley, for example, which is a great school, then the diploma will be from UC Berkeley. So think of the community college as the first 2 years of your bachelor degree, and then you transfer to university of your choice, depending on your grades and where you can get in, of course. So this is in America, this is called a 2+2 system. You might have heard a bit about it before, but it's a good expression to know that it's the 2+2, and this is what they mean when they say that. First of all, I'm going to tell you where we are. So the United States of America, and we are in California, which is the blue part of the American map, and we are in the northern parts of California, just close to San Francisco. And as you can see, we have great weather in San Francisco. a bit cooler in the winters and warmer in the summers, but in general, you will have really nice weather, which is an extra that you get when you study at our colleges. So this is again where we are. To the left, you can see San Francisco, and all of our colleges are on the so-called BART train line, which is a rapid train line. So DVC, for example, which is like in the middle, it will take you about 30 minutes with the train to get to downtown San Francisco. And one of the great advantages of actually living and studying at our colleges is that it will be much easier to find housing, and it will be much cheaper compared to if you were going to study and live in San Francisco, because San Francisco is a fantastic city, but it's also very, very expensive. So money-wise, this is a really good choice, and you will still have access to San Francisco and a lot of other things as well. As I said, San Francisco is just close by, and it's a great city, and you will have great access to it. Maybe you will actually be able to do a lot more things in San Francisco if you live outside of San Francisco, because you will have more money left over to explore San Francisco and the areas around California as well. Because close to our colleges are, apart from San Francisco, you're really close to Napa Valley, which is a super famous wine district. You have the Pacific Ocean just half an hour away with all the beaches. Great big national parks, Joshua Tree National Park, etc. And you actually have like an hour away, you can go skiing. So you have easy access to both swimming by the ocean and skiing in the mountains. So it's a great location, really. So these are our colleges, as I mentioned before. Contra Costa College, this is the smallest one that we have. It's the one that's closest to San Francisco. They also have the smallest class sizes. And I know that Contra Costa has a director for the international students who is very, very personally involved with the international students, making sure they are really well taken care of. So that's a good thing to know, that she's really doing whatever she can to make the international students have a good time. We have about 100 international students at Contra Costa. Contra Costa is also famous because they have a really good STEM program. STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And their Center for Science Excellence is actually a national award-winning center, because they give such great support to particularly STEM majors. And about half of our international students transfer to one of the University of California campuses, which I will tell you more about later. DVC is the biggest of our colleges, and about 90%, as you can see, of our international students go to DVC. Part of the reason for that is that DVC has been recruiting in, for example, Central Asia for a longer period of time than the other colleges. And it's a bigger college as well. You have a great active student life, a lot of student clubs doing, everything and more. This is an important thing when you come as an international student to a new country and to a new school and to a new environment, that there are good social facilities, that it's easy to get to know people, and that you are able to have a good time outside of the classroom. It's really important for your mental health, because it's a big transition to come to a new country and study. DVC also is the number one when it comes to transfers to UC Berkeley, and actually to all the University of California campuses. About 40%, I think 42 or 43, the last numbers were, of the international students that applied to transfer to Berkeley got in. That's a very, very high number, and I will show you some graphs later and show you the big difference compared to if you would apply directly to UC Berkeley the first year of your studies. So it will all be clear later on how good that number is. And it's the best of all the community colleges. And finally, Los Medanos is the newest one to this group of 3 colleges. It's a top-ranked college, number 6 in one of all the rankings. Obviously there are a lot of rankings around, but Los Medanos is ranked really high in all of the US. It's number 6. Los Medanos also has something called a Global Mentor Program. This means that every international student gets a more experienced student at school as their personal mentor the first few months at least when you're there. This person will help you get in place, finding where everything is at campus, finding the different social clubs, and help you just figure out, where do I take the bus, and where's the library, and how does it work when I'm going to choose my courses, etc. So you will have a more experienced student that you can connect to, and that will help you. Also very good when you come new to a new country. They also have something called an honors program. If you're interested in this is for top students. You apply at the same time as you apply to Los Medanos, you can apply to be a part of the honors program. What it means in short is that you will study a bit more courses and a bit harder courses, some of them. But if you're in the honors program, then Los Medanos has agreements with 10 very good universities. And the chances of getting into one of those is much higher if you are an honors program student. For example, it says 75 plus here, acceptance to UCLA. I think the last number is 78% of the honors students got into UCLA. That's a super number, as I will show you later as well, when we compare it, if you would go directly first year to UCLA, for example. So apart from obviously all the education and the teaching and the classes and the courses that you can take, there is a lot of different international student support at all our schools. So these are just some pictures to show you what's available for you. Transfer services, academic tutoring, career services, counseling to make your education plans. There will be people around that will help you plan your studies in different ways and plan for your transfers and how everything works. So you will be very well taken care of once you get there as well. And these are the most popular areas of study for our international students: business, computer science, psychology, engineering, and biology. But there are tons of more stuff that you can study if you want to. As you can see, 125 plus degree programs. Diversity and international student life is the headline here. And I think it's important when you come as a foreigner to another country and a new school that the schools are working with the diversity and supporting the international students, so that you feel that you belong there, even though you come from a different country and you might not speak super good English in the beginning, etc., etc. So they are really putting in the effort to make everybody feel welcome and have a good time and enjoy their time here. So we have a lot of different international students, 600 plus, it says here. Last time I checked, I think we had about 850 maybe students, all in all in our colleges. Of course, it's different from year to year. 50 plus countries represented and a lot of different student clubs. Yeah, and they will arrange a lot of different stuff, like excursions, like here to San Francisco, and a lot more. This is just an example slide from Diablo Valley College. So if you want to check it out yourself at Student Services and Resources, There are different student centers, etc., etc. So if you want to check out the webpage to see what different types of services and support you can get, it's all there. Because you will need it, because you will need somebody to help you with how to plan your studies and take the right courses and so forth. Also important financially is that you are allowed to work. So first year, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours a week on campus. And there will be jobs on campus, you know, in the cafeterias and maybe helping out in the library, etc., etc. And you can actually start working 30 days before you enroll. But first year, you can work for up to 20 hours on campus. Second year, you can work off campus up to 20 hours as well. This is called a curricular practical training. So your work should have something related to what your major is going to be. But you are allowed to work outside of campus and earn some money to be able to have a bit of a better everyday life, perhaps. Then in between year 2 and 3, if you want to continue studying towards a bachelor degree, you are allowed, if you want to work for 1 year before you start year 3. So before you do the transfer to the university, you are allowed to work for 1 year, and maybe you can save up some money and you will gain more experience, etc., etc. So this, I don't know if this is super clear. You might be on your phones watching this, but this is just the same information really. At the base, you see year 1 and 2 at the community college. Then between year 1 and 2, you can work for a year if you want to. Then you do year 3 and 4 at a university. After that, you get your bachelor's degree, and if you want to, you can work for 1 year before you perhaps continue to do your master's degree. So this is the base for the 2+2 framework that I spoke about before. And of course, when it comes to work and work opportunities, and Northern California and the San Francisco area is great. You have a lot of big, famous, good companies, as you can see on the screen here. This is just a few examples of it. So the possibility to get good curricular practice training will be great, and also the OPT, like in between year 2 and 3. Obviously, these are really big companies, but because they are there will be tons of really good companies there around them as well. Okay, housing. This is important, of course. You decide yourself where you want to live. We don't have any on-campus accommodation, but we have there are accommodation really close by to all of the colleges. So Forstay and Interresidential are 2 companies that you can contact, and you can rent a full apartment if you want to. That will be quite expensive though. Most students will share an apartment or share a bedroom with another student in an apartment. Another option, which is also a really good option, is that you can do what's called a homestay. This means that you live in an American family. And this is really good when you first come to America. If you live within a family, they will help you sort things out. Like I said before as well, like where does the bus go, and where is the school, and how does things work? And this will also include meals. So it's a smoother start when you come to a new country. And a lot of students start at a homestay for maybe the first 2 months. And then once you're actually there and you get to know some new friends at school, and you get to know the area, and you can go check out where are the apartments, and then maybe you can change over and move into to rent a room or a bed in a bedroom, a shared bedroom. So this is a good start, the first few months, or longer if you want to, of course. So transferring, importance. How do I get into good universities? So this is California. And in California, there are two big university systems that are public. One is called University of California, and one is called California State University. University of California has 10 different campuses. The most famous ones probably is UC Berkeley, UCLA, and California State University. They have 21 campuses spread out all over California, as you can see. California State University are the red ones, and University of California are the blue ones. You are guaranteed to get into one of those. Of course, you can't cherry pick yourself. It will be up to what your grades looks like, etc. But you will be able to go to one of these, and they are all good universities. You can see there are some blue ones with a star, and it says tag. It's a transfer agreement guaranteed. And it's 6 of the University of California campuses that we have a tag with. What it means is that if you are interested in going to UC Davis, for example, you can talk to the counselors at school that help you out with the transfers and say, I want to go to UC Davis. In short, what will happen is that you will sort of write a contract with UC Davis, and they say that if you meet these criterias, you have to have a GPA that's above this level, for example, etc. Then if you meet those criterias, then you will be guaranteed a spot at UC Davis. And you can apply for more universities if you want to, but you can only apply for one tag. So you can only choose one of those 6 if you want a tag. But then outside of that, you can apply to as many universities as you want to, in case you might not meet the criteria. Okay. Oh, maybe you can't see that. If you see the, I've moved. Hold on. There, that's better. This is just an example statistics from DVC. So university-wide, you can see that the admission rate of all the students applying to universities was 90%. So 90% of the students from DVC got into the university. For UC Berkeley, it's 42%, and for UCLA, it's 36%. Maybe I should. Yildiz, do you see this the part that with all the participants, so it covers? I'll move it here. Okay.
There is the graph.
No, that's fine.
You see admission rate.
Can you see the graph properly now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is numbers from 2022. I will explain it so that you understand what all the bars mean. At the bottom, you can see there are 6 different University of California campuses. So the first one is UC Berkeley, and then it's UCLA, UC San Diego, UC Irvine, UC Davis, and UC Santa Barbara. Then each of them have 4 bars. The left one, the light green one, it says international freshman admission. This means the students that apply to the university freshman year, meaning the first year. So they don't apply or go to a community college. They apply because they want to go all 4 years at University of California, Berkeley, in this example. Out of the international students that applied to UC Berkeley first year, only 5% got in. If you compare that to the blue bar to the right, if you went to one of the colleges of Contra Costa, then 41% got in. So it's a massive difference. So even if you have all the money in the world, and like money is not a problem, I can go to UC Berkeley first year because I can afford it. then the chances of getting in will be slim, only 5%. And as you see, UCLA, similar numbers, only 6% of freshman students get in, and 35% if you started your studies at one of our colleges. And if you remember before when I spoke about Los Medanos, if you go to the honors program, 78% of the students from the honors program got in to UCLA. Compare that to 6%. So it's a massive difference. And so the chances of getting in to one of these really good universities will be much higher compared to if you apply directly first year. Okay. Let's see. So we've only spoken so far about transferring to universities in California, but you can transfer all over America, as you can see on the map to the upper right corner here. These are just examples of universities to which our international students have transferred to. There are more, and there is actually on the webpage for Contra Costa colleges, there is an interactive map, so you can click on each of these icons for the universities and you can check the universities out. So if you prefer or want to go to a different place in America or a specific university, then the chances are that you can. So, and the counselors at school will help you with how everything works and make sure that you have the assistance you need to apply properly. So this is actually brand new. It's so new, so we don't actually know all the little details regarding this. This is called Transfer Scholars Network. What it is 18 community colleges in the whole of the US. And in the whole of the US, you have about 1,100 community colleges. DVC is one of those 18 elected community colleges that are allowed to be a part of the Transfer Scholars Network. And the TSN connects you to 16 highly selective colleges, like really top colleges. I'll just remove this because I'm not sure if you can see it. Hang on. Okay. So at the bottom here, you can see an example of the universities that are in this program. You have Yale, Cornell, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Princeton, Johns Hopkins. So there are 16 of those. And you can apply to be a part of the Transfer Scholars Network, but you will also have to be selected by staff at DVC. So they will nominate you if they think that you are a student good enough to be a part of the Transfer Scholars Network. And you have to meet, obviously, the eligibility criteria that you can see on the screen here. This is obviously for top students. If you become a part of the Transfer Scholars Network, you will get, you're not guaranteed to get in, but you will get a lot of support along the application process from the university that you want to go to. So if you want to go to Princeton, for example, and they think that, yeah, this could be a good match, they will support you along the way when you do your application. And the chances that you will get in will obviously be a lot higher. So it's not a guaranteed spot, but you will get super, I'm losing the words. The possibilities are much higher that you will actually get into one of these top universities. So this is really new, and we're really proud that we are selected as one of the 18 community colleges. Also, just remember, this is for DVC only. It's not for Los Medanos and Contra Costa College. So just to avoid confusion regarding this. To sum up a bit regarding the transfer possibilities, This is an academic ranking of universities in the world. So this is globally. This is the top 30, and at the bottom, I just added two more of our universities in California, but they are 63 and 65. So just so that you don't think that I'm trying to fool you. The yellow ones are University of California campuses. So number 5 in the world, University of California, Berkeley. 13 is UCLA, etc. So as you can see here, if you add the universities that are connected to the Transfer Scholars Network, we actually have 10 out of the 30 top ranked universities in the world, more closely connected to us than if you would go anywhere else. So this is why our community colleges are such a great backdoor into these universities. So all of the University of California system and the TSN and everything together means that you have much better chances of getting into super universities if you study your first 2 years with us. Also, I'm just going to mention that we have something called the Academic Bridge Program. This is also at DVC. It's a 6 to 8 week intensive program that you do before you start your first semester. What you get is you get great support to start choosing your courses for your semester, and you do studies. This is not an English program. This is an academic program, and 2 of the courses that you will take will be transferable into your bachelor degree, into your first year. And you will be able to visit some of the university campuses as well, together with staff. And so once you've done this, then when the semester starts, you will have a great head start towards the other students, and you will be accustomed to living in America. You've been to the school already. So once your semester actually starts, you will be super well prepared. And you have a chance to apply for the courses before the other students do as well. So I just want to mention that this is a great opportunity to get a head start. Okay, so this might not be super important right now, but the academic calendar, if you want to start already fall 2024, the semester starts at August 26th. And you have to be there in person, as you can see, 1 or 2 weeks before the start of the semester for international student orientation. And at the bottom, you can see the academic bridge program as well, the dates for that one. You don't have to remember this, of course. Global Compass will have all this information and can help you with that if you need it. So what are the costs? These are the costs, estimated costs. This is for the gap year. So the tuition fee is 10,296. This is if you are studying 12 units per semester. That's the minimum for your visa. So if you're doing a gap year, for example, that would be the minimum requirement for you. If you're going for the bachelor degree, then you would have to take 15 credits per semester. So you will have to add a few dollars to that number. And then there's estimated cost for food and housing, books, transportation, etc. So an estimated total cost for 1 academic year, if you do the gap year, is about $28,900 US. So if you compare the cost, if you the top green row is if you do your first 2 years at one of our colleges, and then you transfer into a California State University, year 3 and year 4, the total cost will be a bit more than $60,000. The middle part, the blue part, is if you start and do the first 2 years at our community colleges, and then you transfer into one of the campuses of University of California, then the total cost will be about $123. If you then would apply and go directly freshman year to one of the campuses at University of California, then the total cost will be about $194,000. So if you compare that to $60,000, it's a big difference financially if you start doing your 2 years at a community college. So financially, it's a better thing to do. And also remember, the chances of getting in to one of those great universities will be much higher if you actually start at the community colleges. So it's not only financially better. Yeah, we can skip this one. Admission requirements, we mentioned it before. You don't have to take an SAT, for example, to get into the community college. You have to be over 18. If you're not over 18, you have to have graduated from high school. You can apply before, but before you start, you have to have graduated. And then, of course, you have to have evidence of your English language proficiency, and the financial support evidence, so that you can prove that you will be able to financially support yourself during the time that you study in America, and a passport copy, obviously. And you will need a visa eventually. Yeah, this is some examples of the requirements when it comes to the English proficiency. Deadlines. If you want to start fall 2024, the deadline is July 1st. But we always recommend people to apply sooner rather than later. And this is mainly because it might take time to get your visa. There is usually quite some waiting time at the embassy to get the visa interview. So try not and wait too long, because you will need time to get your visa. Oh, this is first. Okay. If you want to, of course, you can follow us at different social media. Also, apart from the colleges of Contra Costa district having an Instagram, all of the colleges separately have their own Instagram, for example. So I really recommend that you follow them if you do have Instagram, because then you can get more of a feel of what life is like at the different colleges and what's happening and what events are going on, etc., because they will be posting stuff there that will give you a better sense of what life is like at the campuses. Okay, I'm done, actually. That was super quick. I don't know, but Julius, if you have any questions, or if the students have any questions, then please let me know.
Thank you so much, Daniel. So we have one person left. I don't know if you have a question, Gulmira. You may type it in the chat box, or you can turn on your mic, and then you can ask the question directly. I was actually, it's just a comment,
Yes.
appalled by the statistics that it's 78% of transfer to the highly selective colleges, four-year universities, whereas the admission rate is just about, is under 10% for students who are applying for the first year. Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes there's this kind of, I guess this a biased thinking, or not a very maybe nice impression of a community college, which doesn't have ranking of some sort, or which is not maybe published by the US News and QS, whatever ranking agencies. And people just mistakenly think that the only way to get into a top school top university is through going this rigorous admission process. And these four-year community colleges are actually, well, I wouldn't say a backdoor, but it's another route to get into where you want to be.
Yeah.
Without maybe stressing so much during your high school years, but when you already put your high school in the back, like in the past already, and now you're starting your independent adulthood, and you're starting to realize that every step that you take is actually going to into account, and then you can actually go get into a top school in case if you did lots of mistakes in the high school, so that's a chance.
Yes. Yeah, it is. I actually think that a backdoor is a good word for it. It's a
I
clever
wasn't
back.
sure
It is a
about the wording.
clever backdoor, really, because it's the chances of getting in is so much higher.
Yeah.
So and well, financially it's better as well. But really, the the big thing, really, I think, is that the chances of getting into really good universities will be so much higher. And
Right.
78% is for the students that are in the honors program. Um, but still, I mean, and like 42% from DVC that gets into UC Berkeley. Yeah, it's like a hidden gem.
Hidden
And
gem, yeah, and it
yes,
helps you save money. It saves you also from stress of
yes,
doing all the SATs and doing all
yes,
the admission rounds, and
yes.
also yeah, like starting a life and an education abroad at, I would say, a pretty young age as well, because not many students could be ready for that and ready for the rigor that is at the universities already from day one.
Yes.
Whereas the colleges also help prepare and adapt to the life in the US, and therefore it's a soft landing with great opportunities to actually choose also the path that you want in your life.
Yeah, it is. And I think the whole package, like both financially and the transfer possibilities, the smaller size classes as well. When you speak about the soft landing in, like, I mean, it's a huge step to move abroad and start studying. So everything that you can do to soften that up a bit and make it smoother, the transition,
Right.
is gonna be beneficial. Really, it's and also it's important to remember, because obviously the top ranked universities, that's going to bring, status to your diploma, but you do get your diploma from those universities once you finish your bachelor degree and when you've done your transfer. It's not going to say Los Medanos College, and then you maybe you are afraid that nobody will know what it is. It's going to say the name of the university where you end your studies. So yeah.
Well, I think we've covered everything, and students will have also our contacts, so we'll be sending them the video recording. So I'll stop the recording now.
Yeah.
Done.